Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're taking a look at the RAINE, that's R-A-I-N-E, military sewing kit. Now, right off the bat, this is not going to be a review. This is an overview. And the reason why it's an overview is because in order to make this a review, I'd have to cut off a button from a jacket, a shirt, or an old pair of formal dress pants, and then sew the button back on. And hey, it's a review. I mean, it's a sewing kit. Does it work as a sewing kit? Yes, it does. So really no reason for me to cut off a button just to test it out that way. Again, it's a sewing kit, but it's a military sewing kit designed for soldiers out in the field. So why am I doing a video on this product? Because honestly, this is the best sewing kit I have ever found. And you should have a sewing kit in your bug out bag, in your get home bag. For example, if your job requires you to wear formal dress pants, that means they tie up with a button. And if that button gets ripped off or falls off, yeah, you're kind of screwed. I mean, you could use a large safety pin to hold your pants together, and that could work. That could work in an emergency if you're skinny. If you're very muscular, or if you're rather overweight, that's not going to work. You're going to need a button, and a really good sewing kit is going to help with that. But another big reason why I'm doing this video, every single other commonly available sewing kit I've found has just been substandard. Either they don't give you enough needles, or the needles are garbage quality that rust or bend easily. They don't give you enough buttons, and the buttons they do give you are too small, maybe even too thin. You don't get that with this. This is literally the absolute best sewing kit I've found, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Let's take a closer look. Now you can see the camouflage pattern. These military sewing kits are available in traditional military colors. We're talking camo, OD green, desert tan, maybe a couple of other colors as well, but traditional military colors. Now that's not going to be great for a bug out bag, especially if you're in the woods and you drop this on the ground. Thankfully, it does come with a zipper, and you can absolutely put a bright orange lanyard through the YKK zipper, and that gives you not just a very useful zipper pull, but if you drop this on the ground, that bright orange lanyard will make it much easier to find. But I wanted to show you how it comes from the factory. So you have a nice zippered taco design. There will be a couple of specs in the description box below, but not much, because I'm going to show you pretty much everything in this video. It opens up and there's 3 compartments. Here, covered in plastic, so even though this pouch is not waterproof, yep, this mini spool of OD green thread is covered in plastic, making it nice and waterproof. And you do get an entire mini spool. It's not like most commercial kits where it's just a little bit of thread, different colors, and you run out of the most useful color, usually black. So that's what we have in the first compartment. The second one, now as you can see, this compartment is open, although you could push this plastic flap down and with a small piece of Scotch tape secure it. This is your folding scissors. There it is. And the handles simply fold down and you have a very useful pair of scissors. Now, obviously, this is not going to be on the level of quality as the scissors on your Swiss Army knife or a pair of dedicated commercial shears. Obviously not. Your Swiss Army knife will put this pair of scissors to shame, but they do work as scissors. I've tried this out. They do work as scissors. They do a good job of cutting thread. And if you don't have a Swiss Army knife on you, and these are your only scissors, well, there you go. You do get a pair of scissors with the kit. This is something that a lot of commercial civilian sewing kits don't come with. So let's just fold up these handles. Be careful not to cut yourself. Yeah. There we go. Put it back in the little plastic container. Yeah. Yep, there is some Chinese writing. Put it in there. And on this side, this is where you get a small baggie with 4 substantially sized replacement buttons. Might be a little hard to tell. You do get safety pins, not huge ones, just regular size safety pins. And you do get, as you can see there, you do get a flathead pin and you do get sewing needles. Now, thankfully, there is plenty of space in this little baggie to add not just more sewing needles, but slightly longer, thicker ones. So this is not something where you're stuck with the kit as is. If you want to take out a couple of these buttons, and yeah, there's 5 in total. If you want to take out a couple of these buttons and add smaller ones, you can. If you want to take them out and add a bigger one, hey, no problem. So this kit can be configured to what would work best for you and your needs. And yeah, that is everything. in the kit. 3 compartments. This one is on the spine of the kit back here, the scissors. And yeah, nice sewing kit. And again, for the zipper, I would recommend adding a very bright orange lanyard, or perhaps a dedicated zipper pull that's bright orange. Those do exist. And yeah, you end up with a very compact sewing kit. This can be tossed into a pocket. This can be tossed into a pack. Nothing is sharp on the outside. Everything is nice, smooth, rounded, soft nylon construction. My biggest issue with commercial sewing kits, like the kind you can get at a pharmacy, it's not just the fact that you don't get enough items in it. Sometimes you're lucky if there's one sewing needle or one safety pin. Sometimes you don't even get regular pins. And if they do come with buttons, maybe you'll get 2. They're very small, very thin, not the best quality, not very useful either. So it's like, okay, I've got thread, I've got one sewing needle. I have to be extremely careful with it, not to lose it or bend it. Hopefully it won't rust if water gets into your pack. I mean, they're just substandard. That's my opinion. This is not. And this actually has room for you to add other sewing items. Most sewing kits that you get at a pharmacy, they're rectangle shaped, they're very thin. That's a good thing, but they're solid plastic. You slide one piece of plastic out to access all the items inside. Well, when you make the outer portion of the kit in hard plastic and it's rectangle shaped, and let's say that your pack is a typical one made of thin ripstop nylon, I guarantee you the corners of that pharmacy sold sewing kit are gonna cut into your bag unless you wrap the sewing kit in a bandana or a small towel. But honestly, you shouldn't have to do that. It's just ridiculous. It's very basic. Now, I can understand a basic sewing kit if you're traveling, you're at a hotel or motel, there's a rip or you've lost a button, and you go downstairs and you're like, hey, could I have one of your sewing kits? Certainly, sir, no problem. They hand you a little tiny basic one, but in that sort of circumstance, it's understandable. For something that you're going to toss into a bug out bag or a get home bag, that's not good enough. And quite frankly, the pharmacy sold commercial sewing kits aren't good enough either. The only thing that they're good is they give you plenty of thread. Well, this one gives you more. So they do give you plenty of thread, but not enough needles, pins, safety pins, not enough buttons. And if they do give you buttons, it's like 1 or 2, maybe 3, and the buttons are small in diameter, very thin, and maybe inappropriate for the button you need to replace. This is much better. Now, you noticed some Asian lettering on the plastic that holds the folding scissors in place. I think that's just for the scissors because I have another one here, which I haven't opened. This one is in Coyote Tan. This is how it comes from the company. Here's the packaging. And check this out. It actually says made in the USA. So I'm assuming that even though the kit is made in the USA, the small folding scissors in the middle compartment, those are made probably in China, maybe Taiwan, but the kit itself and the items, yep, made in the USA. Honestly, I'm not sure if the needles and thread are made in the USA, but yeah. At the very least, the outer portion, the zipper, yeah, made in the USA. The items inside, a little suspect on that, a little suspect. And on the back, you have a list of everything you get. Buttons, thread bobbin, angle needles, ample needles and pins, quality folding scissors. They get the job done. Let's just say that. They get the job done. Durable, compact, Cordura nylon zipper case. Yes, absolutely on that last part. And again, I just wanted you guys to be aware that there is a really good sewing kit like this one out there. That's why I'm doing this overview, because the ones that hotels and motels give you, they're adequate for a traveler staying at a hotel or motel. The ones you get at a pharmacy, no. I have not been impressed. They've all been substandard. This is not substandard. This is something I definitely recommend. You can add other sewing items into this kit. There's room for them. There's room for extra buttons, needles, pins, what have you. There's room. There usually isn't room in those commercial kits, which are as flat as can be. And if you try to put a bigger button into one of those, you can't even slide it closed. Something like this, made out of soft nylon, this is not going to tear open your pack. You can toss this into a jacket pocket, pants pocket. It's not going to cut into the lining and tear it up the way one of those kits from a pharmacy would. So I just wanted you guys to be aware that this is out there. It does exist. Is it issued to the U.S. military? I don't know. Couldn't find any information on that. I'm sure it is issued to some militaries around the world. And overall, this is the absolute best sewing kit I've found that is available to civilians. So there you go, guys. The best sewing kit out there on the market. At least that's my opinion. If I find one that's better, I'll make a video on that as well. But okay, guys, please continue to stay safe out there. Unfortunately, it's still dangerous. Take care.